Hello and welcome. This is Mark Schellenbach from Set My Site, and in this video we're going to go over image sizing and pixelation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at an image that is the same image but in different sizes. So it's this background image that you can see here. I've got two images pulled up here. One of them is this image and the other one is this image. Now these are the exact same image. The only difference is that they are different image sizes. So what does that mean? Well, look at this little tag here. It says dimensions and it says 1920 by 800. Conversely, this little tag says 500 by 208. So you can also tell by the visual cue that this is actually a smaller image. So these images, while the exact same, are not going to produce the same effect on your website. When I pull up this home page, I see a large image that spans all the way from the left side of my screen all the way to the right side of my screen. So in order for this image to look very clear and very nice, which is what you want to make sure that your image is actually quite clear and quite large, not small. So this is what happens when I swap out this larger image for this smaller image. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the page now. Okay, so we went from a very nice clear image to a very pixelated and blurry image. That's because the screen is trying to show the image all the way from the left side of the browser to the right side of the browser, when in actuality the image is so small it doesn't even span 1/4 of that width. So it's stretching that image across the screen, and by stretching it, it is distorting how that image looks. So it's important that you send us images that are large enough in size that they'll actually look good on the website. So how big is big enough? Well, we recommend the size no larger than 1920 pixels wide. And that might sound like Greek to you. So I'm going to help you understand how to figure out what those pixelation dimensions are on whatever image you're trying to use on your website. So the first thing you want to do is you want to use a tool that will tell you what your image pixelation is. So I use a tool called Pixlr.com/x. If you use Pixlr.com/x, and that's Pixlr.com/x. I see that you can't see my menu bar on this video tutorial, so I'm repeating the domain name of the service that I'm using here. It is Pixlr.com/x. What you can do now is open whatever image it is that you have on your computer. Let's say it's this image right here. So what you can do is you can actually select a preset for that image, which is already set to 1920, and that will be perfect. Now, if you want to know what your image size is, you can choose the original, and it already tells you what it is. It calculates it for you. So before you even actually look at the image within Pixlr.com, it already tells you as you upload it the actual size. The largest side of your image is 3024 pixels large, which is too large. We don't want to have an image that is too large for your website, because what happens is when it's too large, you're going to slow down your website load times. So you have to find that nice happy medium between not too small and not too big. And so we normally recommend the largest size should be 1920, especially if you're going to use the image in a background that spans all the way from one side of the browser to the other. So you can click on this to access the original, or you can click on this preset that they give you, knowing kind of what you're trying to do here, and that will resize it for you. So let's do that. I'll click there, and then I will click OK. And now all I have to do is click Save, because I've already resized it by clicking on that preset. I can go and save it, and I can even change the quality. So if it's very large, like 1920, I can get away with getting a medium quality image of about 70%. And what that will do is that the lower the quality of the image, actually the faster your website will load. So remember, it's a happy medium. We want an image that's nice and large, clear enough. We don't want it too small or too blurry. So somewhere in the middle is good. So what I like to do here, I think a 70% quality is good. My dimensions are 1920 by 1280. Those are good dimensions. And I can go ahead and download that image by clicking the download button, and I will have a perfectly optimized image ready for the web. Now, just one last note on this tutorial. You might be wondering, what the heck is this 1920 1280? What am I even talking about? Those are pixels, and pixels are just little dots that represent, colors to actually make up the image that you're seeing. So the lower the number of pixels on the image, the lower quality the image is going to be. The higher the number of pixels on the image, the higher quality the image is going to be. So when I have my image width at 1920, it's not the world's biggest image, but it's not too small where it's going to look blurry like on this example that I showed you here. It's actually going to look really good like on the previous example. So what we want to do is we want to find that happy medium between small and low weight so that your website loads quickly, and large and clear so that you have a beautiful image. And so that's where we come up with this idea of 1920 pixels wide, and that is the optimal size for you to use, and at about a 70% quality, that is going to reduce the weight of the image so that when you upload it and access it on your website, it actually loads quickly. So hopefully this tutorial has helped understanding image sizing and pixelation. Thanks for watching.